Hello and welcome back to the channel. You have Paul Mackay from Analogue Wonderland and Marina from Analogue Wonderland and If We Film. So it's been a couple of weeks since we announced that the Analogue WonderLAB is going to be a thing. So we thought we'd jump on and give a quick update. The other thing that I think is worth spending some time on is we talked at the launch about how the WonderLAB, the things that we're really going to focus on and try and do as well as possible. Let's test the memory. Marina, what's number one?
Sustainability.
Sustainability, yep.
Organization and community.
Perfect, exactly. So those are the three things that we're obsessing over. And we've had a lot of questions, particularly about the sustainability one. I'm going to ask Marina some questions about how the progress is going, and then I'm going to poke a little bit around the sustainability idea and exactly what we're going to do, because as I say, a lot of you seem really interested in that, which is really lovely. First of all, Marina, you've moved, you're here. Hurrah!
Yeah, I'm working with you, and it is happening, it is real, and the clock is also ticking. So yeah, I'm super happy to be here working in this beautiful project, which is the Analogue WonderLAB, and I can't wait to finally launch it with everything that we have planned.
and the setting has changed. So the last video we were in a small room with a shiny background. Where are we now?
We are actually in the Analogue WonderLAB. It's a little bit empty at the moment, but yeah, we thought that it was like nice to actually show you how we started and how this place is like now empty, but it's going to be full with really lovely machines and scanners and everything. So yeah.
And we're hoping to do a couple of these updates, and if we always do it from in here, hopefully you will see this is where it begins, and then as little machines pop up, as computers and tables start to appear, you'll start to see it build. We're coming up to the end of a full week of you being here. What have you spent your time on? What's been the biggest things to start with?
Well, the biggest thing has been to put everything that we needed in the list, and to make sure that we found the right equipment. So this week has been basically to just buy everything, to speak with the right people, and to get everything sorted so that I can test everything by hopefully next week.
And of course the thing that, I knew it, but watching you this week, it really reinforces it. There isn't anywhere in the world where you can go and buy all the equipment fresh, new, with choices of how fast is delivery. So Marina has been talking to people around the world, trying to get the best deals, the best equipment, and things that fit together.
Yeah, literally I've been talking with people even from Canada, from Mexico, because not all the equipment are new, therefore you have to buy it second hand and find the right suppliers, and have to find like the machines that are in the perfect condition. So yeah, it has been a little bit difficult, but yeah, I'm quite positive.
Oh, it's been brilliant. And every time I walk past Marina's desk, I'm not sure which language she'll be talking or which time zone she'll be operating in. Of a percentage of things that we want to make sure we have for the launch, what percentage of equipment is ordered?
I can say that 75%, 80%, which is quite good. Yeah. At least the most important equipment is already sorted, so it's now on their way. So, but yeah, almost done.
And it's arriving. Well, a lot of it's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, next week.
So boxes and equipment and things will start to appear here very, very fast, which is absolutely wonderful. That's the first thing. So it's been buying equipment so far. From my side, I've been focusing more on the website's elements and getting the site ready for this, because versus what we do today, which is you wonderful people order from us physical products and we pack them and send them out to you, this obviously is slightly different, and we don't want to break the first bit in order to build a second. So there's a lot going on there that gets very technical very quickly, which puts me out of my depth, but fortunately we have some wonderful people helping us. Okay then, so let's get into the sustainability. I'll quickly say the things that people have asked me, and then I know that a lot of people have contacted you directly. So the questions that I get is, this is really good, I've always been worried about the chemicals.
Yeah.
Is that the main thing? And then people have also been asking, well, actually, what can you do about this? Because ultimately, film photography is plastic and chemicals, plus light, when it comes down to it. Have people been asking you similar questions, or is it more detailed? What's been the main thought?
No, the main thought was people have been worried about the chemicals and what are we going to do with the chemical waste as well, which is one of the biggest problems actually within labs. But yeah, I mean, it is something that I'm planning to do. I mean, you know, to reduce the impact from start to end. And it's not going to be perfect on September, that's I'm going to say for sure. But I mean, we're going to do as best as we can to, you know, to reduce the impacts, whether it's like the packaging, how we develop the films and how we send them out, and how we did it with the chemical waste. But yeah, it's going to be, I think, whatever we do in September is going to be a big step for the analog community. That's for sure.
And I've always, I mean, I've come from a place of always wanting to minimise Analogue WonderLand's environmental impact. Right from the start, when we look at cooling solutions for a warehouse, the packaging that's recycled and recyclable, so no trees are chopped down for the packaging, that kind of thing. But you've brought another level of passion for it, and I love, when we started talking, it was basically a deal breaker for you, that when I really wanted you to come and join me, you said, I'm only going to do it basically if it's going to be sustainable. Which is a wonderful thing to hear. And then when you started talking to me about it, I think I hadn't quite clicked. It's the whole journey, it's the whole piece. It's not just people I've seen, and myself included, have jumped in on, oh, there's silver, or oh, where do you display? And you're looking at it as a whole, from somebody getting film to getting scans. Where can we minimise? Not disappear impact, maybe, but minimise. Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, even like when we send them out, we are going to actually like encourage customers to reuse the Analogue WonderLAB box. So yeah, it's basically to try to reduce as much as possible every single part of the process. Whether it's going to be like using like hydroquinone-free chemicals, which is basically the most toxic, one of the most toxic developer agents within the black and white chemicals, or even like, for example, try to see if we can reuse the fixer by removing the remaining silver.
You did show me this machine that looked like something from Doctor Who that somebody had built in Brazil?
Mexico.
Yeah. Somebody had built a homemade silver recovery machine, but it was half the size of this room.
Yes, it's super big. I mean, obviously I'm not going to build that in September, but I'm going to see, because there are many ways that we can, for example, recover the fixer. But yeah, I'm still investigating that. But yeah, I'll figure it out, that's for sure.
And then also, to be clear, there are labs doing some of these steps already. There are some brilliant people who are already thinking about this. We're not coming in and saying we're going to, we're starting from scratch, everyone else is rubbish. Absolutely not. But you've also told me some real horror stories about other labs in the past where you've seen it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just that, thanks for having worked for more than 7 years in different labs around the world has allowed me to see few things. Like, I can tell you like horrible stories, but just to share with you guys a few, it's just, dumping irresponsibly the waste chemical, putting down the drain, or even like putting the disposable cameras with the normal waste. Disposable cameras, also film pods, the 120 spools in the same waste. And also, for example, sending customers their films in packs with like a ridiculous amount of plastic, which is, come on. It's, but yeah, there are more horrible stories which I'm not going to share, but
you can buy Marina a drink when we're open and sit her down and she can vent all of these out.
Yeah, but that's mainly the reason. It's just I felt strongly the duty that I had to do something with it. It's like I couldn't, as I couldn't do anything there, I could say, okay, let's do this, like this, improve these, but the places that I work for, I haven't had like the last word of the decisions. So when I found Paul and he told me like, I like to do these, and I said to him like, I like to do these, but on top of that, sustainability will be the most important thing for me. He said yes. That was like, okay, let's do it. I mean, this was meant to be like this, eager to do, improve these, and his desire as well to, to offer you that service. It's just, I think it was meant to happen, but yeah.
Why did it take us so long? Yeah, because I think that's it really. It's about taking the best practices on any one situation from anyone we can find, getting the best examples of things at each point. And then there are a few elements where we have ideas to push it on even further. I also want to reassure that even within this, while you will have seen Marina develop films with mint, basil, coffee, beer?
Not beer,
Not
flowers.
Flowers. Well, obviously flowers.
What else? Grass. I
Grass,
was going to
okay.
say weed, but no, it's not weed.
Yeah, well, that's for chill that Sunday. So while Marina is still doing that and experimenting that, don't worry, when you send films in, we won't be putting them through some experimental weed soup, unless you want to, unless you request it. We are using, chemistry and everything that is to the high standard you'll expect, but there are still a million things within that process when you get down to it that we can improve. So that's one quick reassurance, but hopefully in 3 years' time we will just be using weed.
Okay.
Now, the one thing I wanted to ask you about particularly, because I know we've had a lot of conversations between ourselves, with people in the industry, with some of our suppliers, printing, making prints. Now, this is a particularly tricky one. Can you talk about why it's tricky and what's interesting from a sustainability point of view?
Yeah, it's just basically that it is like not sustainable at all, like nothing. We can talk about like the paper itself. Obviously we have to cut trees, obviously we have to use water to get the paper, but within the paper you actually find toxic compounds that can, involve our health and your health as well. And also, to be able to print something onto paper, you need inks, and these inks have toxic compounds as well. And I was thinking, okay, if I want to be sustainable within this printing area, what can I do? So yeah, this is basically what I'm trying to
So you're going to hand draw people's negatives?
No.
There we go, handprint. It's interesting because obviously you say, you need paper. Well, actually, in fairness, I mean, that is a print. That's like saying, we want an iPhone, but without using metal. There is an element of the product, but I think you're right. The way to get there are several different ways, and there's less choice than there are in developers. There's less. It's not as well developed as an industry just yet, is it?
No, I'm just, to be completely honest, I just feel like that I want to improve this, but I feel so super alone, and I don't have like any information on the table. So, but there we have to be positive because I found a potential solution in which involved to use cotton fiber based papers that can give you archival quality and like museum level quality. So what I want to do is like make this process sustainable as possible, but not compromising the quality.
Exactly.
Obviously, I'm not going to, we're going to do using paper with plant-based, but then the photographs are going to be horrible.
No.
So I want to have both things, sustainability as well as quality. But yeah, and also I'm trying to find like toxic free inks so that I can, you know, print with them as well. But
so this is definitely one of the trickier ones, as you can hear why. I think so. The way that we're approaching it is there's a few different things. One is we're not going to offer prints at the start because Marina still needs more time to do the research, and there's a few ideas we're still chasing down before we commit to the printing systems that exist today. If by September, October, we know it's not going to be a couple of weeks or a couple of months thing, then we will obviously commit to the printing systems, look to minimise that impact in the ways you're talking, different papers, see if they're compatible inks, while working on a longer term solution that might then take 2 years to come, but will then be the most, you know, sustainable way of photo printing ever, which would be amazing. The other thing that we're thinking about is how to then help people with getting the right print. So if we are going to go down the printing route from a sustainability point of view, from a business point of view, print everything, we'd love it. But if we're being true to our principles, what we're trying to do, we're trying to work out a way within the website, within software, that will help people choose the right prints in the right way versus necessarily just getting sets and seeing what happens. Hold that thought, because I haven't solved it yet. There's a lot to do there. But I just wanted to give we both wanted to give some transparency on when we say sustainability, what that really means. There are some things we can do today by just accepting best practices from other labs. There are some things we can do today that Marina hasn't seen in other labs, but we can definitely do. There's some stuff, because we also send out film, that we can try and do to reduce impact, like you use the packaging, create that cycle, all those kind of things. And then there are these really big, big projects that we've got our eyes on that probably won't, well, they won't be ready for September. I can say that now. We've got 3 weeks. They won't be ready for September, but we will keep you updated as they progress. And if it was this easy a problem, it would have been solved. So.
And also, I mean, if you've got like any ideas or anything that you'd like to share with us in order to be as sustainable as possible, we are also free, and you can always like leave us here a comment, and we'll be keeping an eye on them.
The other thing as well is we will continue to experiment with the other developers, the more natural things. It might even be a thing that if we can get to the right quality, it could even be a service. Not for September. No. Not for September. but you know, again, these are the things that we are very much thinking about. As Marina says, we will not compromise on quality. We will not compromise on delivering everything you'd expect a professional lab to be able to do, while at the same time minimising. Okay, I think that's probably it. We've talked a lot about it for now. As Marina says, please pick up the phone and call us or message Marina at analoguewonderland.co.uk. If you are an academic who is currently studying plant-based inks in the use of photography, then please get in touch. Please. And that's it. Okay then, so by the next time we do a little video, in a week, 10 days, this room might be a bit more full.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We will both look a little bit more tired.
Maybe, yeah.
But still happy, but still smiling. And that's it. Is there anything else you think is worth saying now, you'd like to say?
Nah, just stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Brilliant. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.